Alright, hey guys, so I have just picked up my bike from the dealer that I bought it from, and so yeah, they have now tightened up the headset, so the play there is gone, which should quiet up the bike quite a bit. But I did also mention to them that the rear brake light was not functioning, and they never got around to fixing that, so I'm kind of annoyed about that. But I'm back at work on Monday, because the shop is completely on the other side of town to where I live, but it's walking distance to where I work. So I'm back at work next week, so I'll ride it to work on Monday and drop it off there. Probably again take them a few days to get at it, but it's a warranty issue that they'll have to repair for me. But now we're gonna ride it home. Right away, the bike makes substantially less noise because there isn't that play anymore in the front end, which is good. So this is kind of the new route that I'm gonna use on Mondays to get to and from work. So right now this would be the route home from work, so it's shorter, but it does involve crossing some really busy streets in town, crossing a expressway actually. It's much more direct than the commute video route that I have. Nice little bridge here. Thank you. Oh, and it does involve some slight off-roading, which we're going to come up to here shortly. Alright, here is the off-roading, more or less, that we have to do. Cross this railway bridge. This allows us to avoid a lot of busier, dangerous streets and shorten our route. Railway tracks. Bike is way quieter now that that front end isn't loose. Made a huge difference. But yeah, this street is normally, like when I'd be getting off work, this street is really busy, so we're not coming down here. Because I'm on holidays, we're in early to mid-afternoon, so traffic hasn't picked up yet. So it's not that busy here right now. But when we're going to be using it on work days, it's going to be super busy here. Now, this is one of the busiest streets in the city that we're now going to have to deal with. Go into the turning lane. wasn't us. So this is a side street that runs beside one of the busiest streets in the city. So again, it's quieter right now, but at the end of the day, when we'll be using it, it'll be actually quite busy, but not as busy as the super busy street that runs beside it. More off-road in here for us. So this route has a fair bit of uphill. The side of town I live on is actually quite hilly, and closer to Lake Superior there's some San Francisco type hills, much shorter, but there's some real steep hills that rise up from Lake Superior. Frickin' street lights not frickin' changing. So we'll go down one of these side streets here. Fortunately, it means a larger, steeper hill to deal with. So these streets here, long stretch. They were really good for doing intervals, because initially it's just gradual uphill, and then at the end it gets a little bit steeper. But then people were using these as side streets to get quickly, to avoid some street lights and stuff like that. They were coming and blasting down these streets, and people said people were driving too fast. So to make things safer, they put some stop signs. So now there's a stop sign partway down, which basically destroys my intervals. Which is really lame. So I discovered another design flaw on this bike, which I'll show you when we stop. Frickin' Chinese made junk. This is a cool bike, but it's definitely not well made. Okay, another busy fucking street to cross. Pardon my language. Alright, so we made it home. So that was 8.61 kilometers, took 19 minutes 50 seconds, average speed of 26 kilometers an hour. A lot of uphill to deal with there, plus all the stop and go really affects your average speed, slowing down and accelerating again. Our maximum speed was 35.2 kilometers an hour. The temperature is currently 20.1 Celsius. We did 74 meters of vertical ascent. And yeah, so I'm going to show you the other design flaw that I discovered. So I'm going to take the battery out of the case. So if you look at the battery, you'll notice there is this groove here, and inside this case there was also a notch here, so it was a tongue and groove idea that this was supposed to slot into. That's supposed to help keep the battery stay put so it doesn't move and doesn't vibrate. But when you put this in and you theoretically align it with the grooves, which would be like so, to start it into the grooves, you'll notice it hits the back, so you can't actually use the tongue and groove system with this battery because of this additional piece here. So that's pretty lame. So what I've done is I have cut out that piece that hooked over here, and what I'm going to do to quiet the battery is I'm just going to buy some foam tape and tape down here and tape along here to quiet basically the battery, so when the battery bounces around it's not going to make as much noise as it does now. So just another example of poor engineering there. Well, I guess what it's an example of, these bikes are, I think these companies, when they make these bikes, I think they just basically are offered all these options that the Chinese companies say you can have this, you can have this, you can have this, and they pick and choose parts and components and designs, and some of the stuff they picked to put together here actually isn't compatible. So I think that's why we're in that situation, but I should be able to fix the problem. So yeah, got my e-bike back. The headset is tight, but the rear brake light isn't working, which I also dropped off to be fixed, but my dealer is of questionable quality. So yeah, thanks for watching. Another slice of Living Life Electric.